Yes. Yes. We just left the court. This matter, that is Commissioner of Police, Federal Capital Territory Command, against Sowore and Sowore reporters. Just like we have always said, it's very important we brief the public on this matter because of the public interest nature of it. This matter was brought to court in 2022.
2021.
Yes. Formerly we applied in court in 2022. But the truth of the matter is that the law under which that charge was brought to court was considered by the parliament of this country. That law was extensively considered by the parliament of this country, and they repeat that law. Section 24 subsection 1 paragraph B of Cybercrime Prohibition Prevention Act 2015 was so personalized that it was enacted to represent the ego of individuals who are in power. It talks about insult, it talks about annoyance, which is very, very subjective. If I say anything that annoys the other person, the person can take me up under that law. That is very, very subjective. Annoyance is subjective. Annoyance is even subject to temper. But the parliament of this country considered that law. They abrogated that law. The law that exists today, under Cybercrime Prohibition Prevention Amendment Act 2024, is about the security of the state. Whatever that threatens war or the security of the country, that is the law that is in existence. And we are saying that if the parliament of this country has repealed a law, we are calling on courage from the court to declare that law repealed. There cannot be a trial under a law that is already repealed. We are in court today under a charge that was filed in 2022 when that also law was in existence. And we are saying that there cannot be a trial under a repeal law. We are saying that it is not about whether there is a criminal proceedings. As we speak today, there is no criminal proceedings. The commencement of criminal trial is not the filing of a charge. We have instances in this country where rich people in power, they fight charges against them. I never saw the light of the day. You cannot lay claim to the fact that there was a criminal proceedings. What begins criminal proceedings is arraignment. There is no arraignment in 2022. The parliament now considered that law to be so arbitrary, and they repeat that law. And they replace it with a law that is not of public nature. And somebody is still coming under that repeal law to say that we must go on. And we are saying that, look, what the law says is that if arraignment are taking place, that means the process is already in place. You can now continue that, okay, we have started before the amendment. But no, this one, there is no arraignment, it's 2022. And if the prosecution or whoever that is going to reason from the other side is saying, why has there no been arraignment? He made some mention or something that he refused to take it. Why are you talking about the procedure of the law as if it's triviality? If you have not done the right thing and somebody and you cannot bring the person to properly take plea, it's not about refusal. Can anybody refuse to take plea before the court? No. Nobody can refuse to take plea. Because you have not done the elementary things that is required of you. Proper service has not been done. And if you have not fulfilled that procedure, that means you have not come proper before the court. And what we are just saying today is that we are calling on courage from the bench to support what the parliament has spoken loudly, that law has no place in a modern society. We are calling on our court to also support the voice of the parliament, so that the citizens can have a place to breathe. And one thing that is very, very important is that all of this energy we are displaying is Mr. Sowore is just a single individual. But I am telling you that in this matter of today, he represents the voice of those people who have been under the oppressive tendencies of that law that is repealed. Having spoken out and having all of us come together like this, we are speaking for the entire, particularly the downtrodden who will not have protection if that law has not been repealed. And that is the reason why we are calling on the citizens. Whatever update we are making, we have the right to make it. It's a matter of public interest. We know the matter is in court, but we are saying they are not arraignment yet, and we are saying that the citizens must be aware that the parliament of this country has spoken. We have been blaming the parliament, but today they have spoken. They said the law is bad. They took it off. We are calling on the court to support that position. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. As you are aware, today is a red letter day because just as we are standing here, the most serious matter is going on. I Federal High Court. Those two floors below us, and that's the judgment being read in the case of Nnamdi Kanu versus the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where we expect an outcome. Some of us have predicted. As we speak, the accused person has been wanted out of the country by not court officials, but an interested party in the case, the DSS. They are the ones who are opening and closing the doors for the country. They are the ones verifying the lawyers and whoever they allow. That is not justice. It is a process that has been compromised by heavy-handedness from day one. I don't want to talk about the procedural force, which includes kidnapping of a client from another country to go on a trial, which violates the Nigerian constitution. And you know I say it all the time, I hate to quote the Nigerian constitution, I don't even believe in the constitution in person. But that's the run-up for now. So we assume that they understand the law. So we are calling on Nigerians that these are special times. And we keep saying, we've been saying this since 2019, both politically and otherwise, that the special times that we are in will demand all the citizens to rise up at once. Those who said and were mocking us in 2019 know better. When we said Buhari is not fit to continue to lead this country, and we said Buhari must go. Buhari eventually left power and he left the world. Now you have Tinubu, who is continuing with the very sick policies of Buhari that has kept this country impoverished, insecure, and totally washed up. As you're speaking, the delegation of the federal government is in Washington, D.C. Not to meet the president of the U.S., but to meet a parliamentarian, a member of the House of Representatives, because they have destroyed the country. The country has lost its morality, it has lost its place, it has lost its respect among the Committee of Nations. You have the IG of police, the legal IG of police is in Washington, D.C. to go and beg the parliamentarian. The NSA is in Washington, D.C. The chief of defense staff is in Washington, D.C. Just to go and beg a member of House of Rep because of how they have ruined our country. These are the people that are supposed to be coming to us to beg us. The South African leaders will not do that. When the South African president went to the US, he went to see Donald Trump. Even when Donald Trump misbehaved, he was able to put, even though I had disagreement with him, if I was the one, I would tell Mr. Trump that you should shut up your mouth. Don't talk anyhow to the Africa's most important country. We have 200 million people here represented. You can just come down on me. But, you know, it is the way we have treated ourselves. It's the way we have made our bed to these terrible leaders that we are laying on the turning beds now. Thank you guys. Keep you updated, and we will ensure we do the best we can to save our country. That's one promise we always make to you. Whether they declare us wanted, they send us to jail, or whatever they want to do, we brutalize, we kill. We know that we have only one country. The mistake that could have happened to me naturally is to be born in Nigeria. The moment I was born here, I accepted the mistake. And I must live with it and make sure I fight through it. Revolution. Thank you.
You should cover the community actually. So what of the
They're still there. Sorry.
Except me.
Sir, let's have your interview.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Luca. Wait. Luca, yes. Just pick it up. Hey, please, John. Sir,
What's what you do, sir?
This assumption that I speak Yoruba is.
I'm live.
All right.
Yes.
No, wait.
Do you guys have any questions? Or
Yes, sir. We just to take, sir. We want you to react to the outburst of Kanu today in court and how he was ordered to be thrown out.
Well, we have made it very clear. This trial in the first place was unnecessary. Nigeria is wasting its time on a trial that will take Nigeria nowhere. Particularly at the time Nigeria is facing serious security challenges. That's what we should be focusing on. It's how to retrieve the body of the Brigadier General that was killed, if they have not. It is how to save the 35 Muslim girls that were abducted from a high school, 25 of them. It has to save 35 Christians who were attacked and abducted live. That's what Nigeria should concern itself with. Not a fluky, frivolous trial to jail somebody whose only crime is asking for justice, in my view. I was watching part of it because I was in court for a different matter. And when they were describing the evidence they have, I was expecting them to say that they found him with an RPG. No. The only evidence they found in his room was a microphone. And then the biggest weapon was a radio transmitter. I have never heard that before, that a country will waste 10 years to prosecute somebody whose only weapon is a radio transmitter and a microphone. They also found underwear. The rest is hearsay, including they presented, by the way, an interview from Sowore reporters. Should anybody be jailed for being interviewed by Sowore reporters? He kept mentioning it. Interview Sowore reporter. So if someone did an interview with CNN now, does that mean the person should be jailed? And I'm aware that they are still reading the judgment. Laboriously, you could tell that the judge is struggling. Laboriously. I'm just hoping that between the time they present the case and the time the judgment will be delivered, that common sense will prevail. And Kanu will be allowed to rejoin his family. And Nigeria, hopefully, will start facing its real challenges, of which Nnamdi Kanu is not one of them. Thank you very much.
So, Kanu's brother alleged that the Yorubas actually hate Igbos with what's happened in court today.
There's always excuse. And the Nigerian state manufactures hatred of ethnic groups against themselves. But ask yourself, was it a Yoruba man that, was it an Igbo man that jailed Awolowo? It was a Yoruba man. Abi? When I was arrested by DSS in 2019, all the guys who came to abduct me, one of them was Ijo, another one was speaking Yoruba. In fact, fact that you speak Yoruba doesn't mean you are Yoruba. But all the guys that were in charge of my detention, they were Yoruba people. So when they want to use you against yourself, it is then that I start telling you, the judge is Yoruba, this thing. But when it comes to stealing Nigeria's money and wealth, sharing among themselves, there is no religion, there is no tribe. But when it is to pitch yourself against yourself, of course, you might say that the preponderance of commentary is coming mostly from some of the Yorubas. But that doesn't mean that the Yorubas are in support of injustice. Even if you look at the history of the Yorubas, politically, they have never supported one political person wholeheartedly. There was Awolowo, there was Akintola, there was Ajashin, there was Omobori, there was Abiola, and some Yorubas didn't support him. Yorubas have always been, just as Igbos are. It's not every Igbo person today that supports even the agitation for Biafra. Does that mean that those people are not Igbos? It's not every Hausa person today that supports blasphemy convictions against some people who are, or even though they are Muslims. So don't let anybody use that to divide you. The person who is president of Nigeria today is a Yoruba man whose only campaign buzzword is Emilokon, is my turn. He didn't say that it's the turn of the Yorubas. And go and ask the Yorubas under this regime what they are going through. That is what the Yorubas call Enikon Loba. Now the person where you touch, and the feeling is different from Emilokon. So you cannot be blaming, because before you know it, now Yorubas will start killing Igbos. Igbos will be killing Yorubas again, based on the misconception that the innocent, hungry Yoruba person is somehow or somewhat complicit in the nonsense that is happening against an Igbo man who is fighting for justice. Let's be careful about that, not to create that ethnic division any further. That's how they got us here.
So do you foresee a breakdown of law and order, especially in the southeast, after this judgment?
There's a breakdown of law and order in Nigeria already. Any country where a brigadier general can be abducted and killed, even when he fought himself cannot be rescued, there's a breakdown of law and order. You see, there are two places to find order in the world. I mean, beyond. They said there's order in heaven and there's order in hell. The difference is that the first order and the first law in heaven is order. The last law in hell is order. Nigeria has become hell when the last law is order. So there's no breakdown of law and order that can happen. But I know them. They can go and manufacture another breakdown of law and order. Even those of us who were peacefully protesting in this Abuja, for Nnamdi Kanu, they claimed that we wanted to burn down the country. I spent 4 days in Kuje prison just because I said free Nnamdi Kanu. When I went to Lagos after that, they declared me wanted for fighting for Yoruba people whose houses they are demolishing. So when they create a narrative for you to fall for, be careful, so that you won't start killing and fighting the same poor people. Some of them don't even know about this trial because they are hustling to get food on their table maybe once or twice a day. So that is why I keep saying that the country needs a revolution. I don't have any doubt about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.